Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more waterfowl patterning, and today we've got a very interesting combo that I've got some pretty high hopes for. In theory, it should work very well together and give us a pretty nice pattern down range. We've seen good results from these shells, we've seen good results from these chokes, so putting the two together, I'm thinking should work out nicely. As for the shells we're running today, big thank you to Adam for sending some of these over. We've recently tested them through a bunch of different chokes to see what they like, and they showed us some great results, so we know we've got a good shell. But they are some of these. The Herter's Waterfowl steel shells. These ones are a 20 gauge, 3-inch, 7/8 ounce payload of steel 4s, moving about 1,500 feet per second. Herter's is just essentially a rebranded Winchester shell, sold for Bass Pro and Cabela's as kind of their in-house brand name. So essentially think of these as a Winchester Expert load. It's pretty much just what they are, but they are some pretty nice performers. Herter's across the line, especially their shotgun stuff, has always done great, so I've got high hopes for these through today's choke. But as for the setup we're running them through, I brought out the Stevens 301 20 gauge immediately. This isn't what you typically think of with a waterfowl type of combo. Single shot with a scope currently on top because we've been doing some slug testing, but either way, it will serve the purpose for today's testing. It's got a 26-inch barrel on it, but for the choke, we've got the Patternmaster Black Mamba in here. It's a 590 constriction, so right about usual full choke numbers there, and we found that a lot of 20 gauge waterfowl stuff does very nicely through a full choke. But if you don't know, the Black Mamba is kind of Patternmaster's do-all choke. You can run turkey loads through it, steel waterfowl stuff, buckshot, and it usually does well with just about anything and everything. And we've seen a number of good waterfowl patterns with this choke and 12 gauge, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we can get from the 20 gauge combo today. But as for today's test, everything is set up the same as usual. I've got the duck target at 40 yards and the chrono so we can get our velocity. So let's get you guys a view of that target, and we'll see what these Herter's 20 gauge steel 4s can actually do through the Patternmaster Black Mamba. I've got good hopes, but let's take our shot and see what we get. Okay, that shell gave us 1466 through the chrono. Boss claim is 1500, so we are just a little bit under that. Chances are factory probably tested it through a 28 or something similar, but still 1466 for a steel number 4 out of a 20 gauge is plenty enough velocity. But what kind of pattern were we able to get out of them down there at 40? Let's go check it out and see. All right, so here is our 40-yard duck target, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here, that's for sure. We absolutely have a dead duck there. There's one right through the center of the chest cavity, but look at what's up there towards the head. Absolutely would have taken that duck down, no doubt about it. There's nowhere on that paper he can move to and get away from you. So you've got a nice hot core. It's got a lot of pellets throughout it, and even looking at the entire pattern, you've got a lot of pellets there to work with as well. There's absolutely nowhere that duck could fly to and get through that pattern whatsoever. There's really no big voids in it at all until you get to the very outer edges of the pattern. You've got a ton of pellets to work with all around the edges of the blue target there as well, so it gives you leeway to work with. And just looking around the edges, it keeps a pretty nice even spread with no major flyers or anything until you get all the way to the very outskirt edges of the pattern. The bottom might be just a hair thinner than the rest of the pattern is, but still not bad at all. I'll take that. There might be one little void right on the tip of his wing over here, right in front of his head area, but it's not too bad overall, as well as just right up here in the top left corner. Those two are probably the biggest voids I see in the entire pattern, but overall, I mean, you can't complain with that kind of performance right there. That's gonna do the job just fine. Out to 40 yards, you're still hitting the duck with plenty of pellets to do the job. In at closer ranges, it's probably gonna give you a little bit of leeway to work with while not completely just being a wide open pattern. So I'm really liking that. That's probably about close to my perfect waterfowl pattern personally. I like a tighter pattern, but I don't want it so tight that I have no leeway to work with either, and that right there might do it. So yet again, I would say the Herter's stuff is pretty good, especially for the money and how easily and readily available they are. You can go pick them up on the shelf whenever you want, and that Black Mamba choke is still a good waterfowl choke as well as a good turkey choke and buckshot choke. So this was kind of what I was hoping to see. Nice hot core area, not overly tight, but very nice evenly spread, condensed. It gives you nice leeway, and the pattern just isn't blown all over the place. So that is pretty much what I was exactly hoping to see, and kind of what I expected to see out of this combo as well. So it seems like if you're going to be the guy that just runs a basic steel waterfowl shell, maybe pick yourself up a Black Mamba choke, and that combo right there would be a very versatile combo. You could hunt ducks with it, or you could run other stuff through that choke as well in the off season. So nice looking results here today. No complaints from me. That's going to do the job any day of the week. And here's the wad from that shell. Nothing fancy going on. Very typical Winchester type stuff. Yet again, like I mentioned earlier, Herter's is just reboxed Winchester for Cabela's and Bass Pro. So nothing surprising here. I'd say the wad did exactly what it was supposed to do. There's no major damage or anything to be concerned with. So looking good here. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that result right there? I'll take that all day long. If I was hunting waterfowl with 20 gauge, I would feel perfectly confident in that out to 40 yards. Steel 4s might be a little bit small for like a big Canada goose or something like that, but if I'm hunting average ducks or smaller ducks or anything like that, it's gonna do the job perfectly fine. So I wouldn't hesitate to use it if I was getting a pattern like that, that's for sure. Now yeah, obviously that 301's a single shot. Doesn't mean you can't hunt waterfowl with it. There's been an awful lot of ducks and geese and stuff like that taken with old single shots, so you can absolutely do it. But if you're a waterfowl guy and you want to hunt with 20 gauge, seems like if you pick up some of these Herter shells and a Black Mamba choke, you're going to be set for probably just about anything you'd want to do with it. And that's definitely what I was hoping and kind of expecting to see coming into it. So yet another good performance, I would say, from Herters and the Black Mamba choke. But leave all your thoughts down below. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Have you tested any of these 20 gauge Herter steel loads? And if so, what kind of results have you seen? Is this a pattern or a combo you would waterfowl hunt with? And maybe what other shells or choke combos do you want to see with either those Herter's loads or that Black Mamba choke? Let me know all that down below. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, you have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All that information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.